what do you think about this, Mr. Hallel? Do I say your name right, Mr. Hallel?
It's Hillel, and that's the Greek name for Lucifer. So that's what it is. But I don't know what the hell I'm hearing. Maybe I'm smoking crack rocks. Y'all keep taking pot shots at her talking about she's being aggressive and angry. You're supposed to press people running for office like that. That's the reason why we got ditzy ass women in the office like AOC. Nobody ever put pressure on her ass. Marjorie Taylor Greene, dumbass, talking about Jewish space lasers. Guarantee you somebody put the pressure on her ass, she wouldn't be in office. So I ain't got no problem with her doing what she's doing. But Larry Elder lied through that whole interview, bro, and it was
Mm.
irritating to hear.
Okay, so
But
wait
he
a
was
minute.
talking about.
Let's address the first point. So, what does putting pressure on somebody has to do with being combative?
I don't see it as being combative. I see more. I will say with the Breakfast Club, they are hella biased when anybody from the left come on. They don't really necessarily attack them like that. I think Pete Buttigieg or whatever his name was the only person they did that to. However, I don't have no problem with politicians being pressed up because politicians are paid liars, in my opinion.
No, politicians are people, and then you have to be able to vet them effectively. But just because you talking shit to them, don't necessarily mean that you're gonna get the truth out of them. And so I don't really understand what the objective is. If the goal is just to be combative, how does that actually help you more effectively vet the person that you're actually trying to vote to determine whether or not you want to vote for him or not?
But he was saying a bunch of nonsense the whole time. Now, I will
Wait,
say
wait, wait,
maybe the
wait,
way
wait,
she was
wait.
cut.
Hold on. You ain't addressed the first part. What does being combative have to do with being able to vet somebody effectively?
I just told you I don't see it as being combative. So I did
By
address
coming
that.
in, you just said that they hella biased.
Yeah, they're biased, but they don't bias and combative are not the same word. They don't
It
mean the
well,
same
it,
thing.
it is because it comes out of her actions, right? Her bias is then being shown by her being combative, which does not allow for the person to actually answer the question because she's not looking to have a conversation. She's just looking to get her points off. That's what makes us combative, is because he didn't come in there to debate. He came in there to have a conversation. You can't even get
Yeah,
out of somebody the truth if you're looking to be combative. You only looking to debate them.
they had a conversation, but when you
It
knowingly
wasn't
tell
a
me a lie, I'm not just
conversation.
gonna let that shit slide.
Okay, what did he
When he
lie
started
about?
talking about the
Yeah,
Let's
what
whole,
talk
did he
about the
lie
lie
about?
part. Because I didn't see the
Yeah.
whole interview, but I'm gonna take your word for it. What did he
first
lie
of
about?
all, this whole conservative talking point of fatherless homes, that's already a myth debunked by the CDC data. This is
How?
data. This ain't nobody making it up. What they're conflating is two issues. They're conflating women who are married and having kids and fathers being active, and they're combining it. One, black men are the most active fathers by data, so we can knock that bullshit out of here. The second
Wait, wait,
lie
wait, wait, wait,
that
wait,
I
wait, wait,
know,
wait, wait, wait. Hold on. I'm a C student, so you got to slow down for me. You got to slow down for me. All right. So you're saying that? Give me a second, fellas. I want to be able to kick it with Mr. Halel real quick. I'm gonna drop you down, Tony. I'm gonna drop you down, Ray. All right. So go ahead. You saying that? Say that again, slow, because I'm a C student.
they're conflating two issues at once. So, like, let's say a black woman has a kid, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, the child is fatherless because the man and the woman are not together, and he's not living in the same household." That doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean that child is fatherless. Black men, like I said, according to CDC data, we are the most active fathers. Period. We take care of our kids. This whole fatherless thing, it's a fake narrative because I don't have to be in the household with you to take care of my kid and make sure he is that preferable. Sure, you would like that to happen, but sometimes the adults just don't match together and shit happens.
But the
Like,
data still stands in that children are much more likely to go to jail. They're much more likely to need therapy and become dependent. They're much more likely to be on drugs if you do not have a father, a nuclear family. Specifically, Larry Elder said nuclear
but
fam. Hold on,
but
hold on,
that
hold on,
data,
hold on, hold
but
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Larry Elder specifically spoke about nuclear families. And he said, and he stated the facts, and it doesn't take away from the reality that when you don't have both a mother and a father in the household at the same time, you're much more likely, or you're much likely to be behind the eight ball as a child than a child that is not. That is just a fact. It doesn't matter how much you participate in a child's life. Listen, it's a lot of guys that try to participate in a child's life, but it doesn't mean that they're not still subjected to the idea of the teachings of feminism when he's not there, which is one of the reasons why he need to be there in the household with the child in order to debunk and actually change the narrative of how a child is supposed to think, because The way that a child learns is not just by what it is that you say, is by what it is that they observe. So their
But
cultural norms then become similar to what it is that they're observing happen in their own household, and the separation and then what's being taught. And then he has to come in, undo all of the things that she's teaching to him, even through her actions, once he gets a hold of him in the limited time that he has him. So just because you're active in your child's life does not mean that that's a nuclear family. And it still creates the narrative, and it still creates a society in which a fatherless household, however you want to label it, is bad for the child compared to a child that is
here's
living in a household
here's
with a
where that
nuclear
doesn't make
family.
sense at. Did you know your grandparents?
Yes.
Okay, so I knew my grandparents. My granddad's a Vietnam vet.
Okay.
He worked 60, 70 hour weeks. Men in the past were not in the household like that. So the woman was still teaching the child and they didn't have the same problems. So that narrative you just said don't make no sense to me.
How don't it
That's a
make
cop
sense
out
when
in my
the
opinion.
statistics back me up?
No, it don't. I just said that he's using the false narrative. You can look at the CDC data. We're the most active fathers.
Okay.
Like that
What
whole
does
fatherless
being an
America shit
active
is not
father
real.
have to do with the results of a nuclear family? Is what I'm saying. It's a lot of people you can label active however you want to label it, but it doesn't change the fact that children are more likely to go to jail, much more likely to be gay, much more likely to be dependent on social
More likely to be
services.
gay. Okay.
Absolutely, 100%. Men that are
Jesus
raised
Christ.
in households that are primarily ran by women, single mothers, are much more likely to be alphabet community. That is a fact.
They're more likely to be gay because they've been touched on by their uncle, but I ain't gonna touch on
That's
that.
true too. That is true too. But
I'm gonna leave that alone.
you can't argue with the data that says that a nuclear family is much better for a child than an active father.
I hear what you're saying, and I'm not
No,
disagreeing
come
with
on,
that.
man.
But
Let's talk in truth.
hold
Let's
on.
talk in truth.
But that's not what he's talking about because I've heard him talk before. That's why when
I
y'all be
heard
making
him
the
say
comments about
nuclear family. I just
hold up,
heard him on
hold,
that a limited amount of
slow it
time that I
down,
just
big
reviewed
dog,
it. He
slow it
said
down,
nuclear
big dog.
family.
I've heard him talk before, just like I've heard Tezlyn talk before. That's why when y'all be coming at Tezlyn, it's comical because she's on Fox News. Like I've heard both of them talk. Larry Elder is talking out his ass. Like
Okay, you
when he
still
talk,
haven't said what he said that was wrong.
I just I
You're
don't know how
wrong
else to,
about
I don't know
that.
how else to explain it, bro.
Okay,
I'm wrong about
do
what?
you have something else that you can identify? Because we can agree to disagree on that. Is there something else that he said that you think is wrong?
He lied about the prison incarceration. He said most of the people that are locked up are violent offenders. Don't matter what race you are, that's not true. Most of the people that are locked up are
He
non-violent
said it in that
offenders.
interview.
Yes, he said it in that interview. He said 60% of people that are locked up are black males that commit violent crimes. That's not true at all.
Okay, what's this? I didn't see that part because I had limited time to review it. What's
Because
the
you didn't. I
statistic?
mean, I did. You had limited time, so that's what I'm saying. You didn't see the whole interview, but
Well, okay, so correct
the
it. What is this? What is the statistic?
most of the people that are in jail, regardless of your race, are in there for non-violent crimes. Like let's say white boy get pulled over with a brick of cocaine. That cocaine he was gonna bust down for him and his friends at a party. He got pulled over and now he got locked up.
So
Most of the people in jail are
you
not in
saying
there
the
for
overwhelming majority of the people in jail are in there for nonviolent crimes?
yes, non-violent crimes. Everybody's not in jail. Majority for being Ted Bundy or Jeffrey Dahmer. That's not the case.
All right, I didn't see that part of the interview, but I'll do a little bit of research on that. Crime rate. Let's see. Um, is it while I look that up? Is it anything else?
And then he made the comment
Actually, he was
about the
right.
system and the
He
reason.
was right. Violent crime soared 270%. 39% of prisoners, they saying 39% of prisoners should not be in prison because they're in there for nonviolent crimes. 61%, 60 and 61% of prisoners are in prison for violent crimes. That's what it's saying based off of what I just pulled up.
Where'd you pull that up from?
That's Time magazine.
What's the date on that?
Uh,
If I'm wrong, I stand corrected. But last time
2016.
I checked, I
This
mean that's
article is
5
from
years ago. But
2000. This article is from
I'll
2016.
stand corrected on that if that's the case. But I could have sworn
Okay,
it's for
okay.
non-violent
So, all right, I'll pull it up
offenses.
on here for you just so you can see it for yourself. I'm trying to figure out where it is that he lied at. You still not saying the part that he lied about it?
I just don't know how to articulate it. The
No,
man
no, no,
lied through
no,
the
no,
whole
no, 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 no,
interview.
no, no. Because we can pull this up. See, this is a Time magazine article in which they broke it down. I looked at the actual quick talking points in order to justify what it is that I just told you. I'll minimize it really quickly because I don't want it to cover up you or whatever. But in the Time magazine article, it's literally saying that 39% of prisoners shouldn't be in prison because they have committed nonviolent crimes. 60 to 61% are in there for violent crimes.
It still would be a false narrative because you say 60% of them of that number were black men were in there for violent crimes. I say regardless of race.
Regardless of race, 60 to 61% of men are in people in prison for violent crimes.
Okay, I'll take that article up. I'm gonna pull up. I can't look at it right now, but I'm gonna look up some more current stats. But if that's the case, I stand corrected.
All right, so what else did he lie about?
I ain't got no problems with that.
What
You have
what
to watch the whole interview. You gonna have to watch the whole thing off of this because you can't really break it down like this on here like that. I get you're breaking it up in parts,
I'm pulling
but
it
the whole
up based
interview,
off of what you said.
he didn't eat his talking points. The whole system comment. He made a comment talking about the system's rig and they're going after Donald Trump, and then when they pressed him out about it, he tried to be like, "Well, wait a minute, this it's not the system," and then
Here,
he kept
I'll
flip
bring it up
flopping on a
again for
bunch of
you.
issues.
I'm gonna break down some of the statistics in the article for you. I'm gonna blow it up for you. First, many of the people who are in prison shouldn't have been sent there in the first place. For example, they found that 25% of prisoners, almost all nonviolent offenders, low-level offenders, should be better served alternatives to incarceration, such as treatment, community service, probation. Second, another 14%, 212,000 prisoners have already served long sentences for more serious crimes that can be safely set free. That's how they came to that number.
So that last part I didn't hear you, my fault.
Well, here I'll let you be able to review it. I
I'll
don't.
just, I, yeah, I'm about to say, I'll look it up. You ain't gotta do that. I'll look it up.
So, what part do you think he capping about?
His whole interview was cat, bro. That's just me. I
Okay,
don't
so
know how else to
tell
explain
me
it.
the other parts.
I already broke it down the first time, and I can see that you're stuck on the nuclear family, the nuclear
No,
part of
no,
that.
I'm
So we'll
asking
leave
you
that alone.
what other part is he capping about? You said that he was capping about the nuclear family. I don't we agree to disagree because my stats say otherwise. You said about the prisoners. I didn't get to see that, but I just pulled it up and it seems like he was telling the truth. Now I'm asking what else is he lying about?
I just told you they pressed him on the whole system comment. That's the only reason why she was focusing on the black and white when you
But he
first queued up that.
substantiated that by using evidence from the past that basically said that when black people actually was under systematic oppression, such as slavery, right? They were doing exponentially better than black people are doing today, and they're freer than they've ever been. So how can you use that in
But
order
that,
to just
but by data,
wait?
that's
How can you use that to justify it when poverty existed exponentially and they were actually under the thumb of organizations that blatantly was showing racism? Whereas today we're freer than we ever have. We have more freedom. You even have the freedom to determine who's going to be in your elections. You don't participate in your own local elections, but we're saying that we're systematically still oppressed. How is that possible?
well. First of all, he didn't even acknowledge the current systematic issues. He said they didn't exist. So, Envy brought up the point about the loans, the home loans, where people have the same credit. Uh, Hispanics and blacks get denied at a higher rate. He tried to make them an excuse for that, saying the reason for that was because we're not using our own banks. Like I didn't know there was a bunch of Hispanic and
He
black
said
banks
that
just
people
floating
die
around
at a
here.
higher rate. All the top three reasons that they die at a higher rate was all self inflicted. I did see that
No, I
part.
didn't say die. I said buy. He was talking about the loan part. They
He
get
said
denied loans. Envy brought up. Go ahead.
no. I'm trying to hear it because I didn't see all of the interview. I didn't get the chance to watch it yet. Go ahead.
Okay, so he don't believe in current systematic oppression or whatever you want to call it. Envy
Neither
was
do
like, so
I.
what about the okay? But Envy was like, so what about the loan issue? And the basically Envy had to G check him and pull up an article on site. He was like, well, that's no such thing. The reason why black people get denied homes because their credit is low, blah blah blah. And then Envy pulled up the New York Times article. He was like, no, when you have a white guy with a 700 credit score, a black guy with a 700 credit score, and a Mexican with a 700 credit score, the black and Mexicans get denied at
But
a higher rate than the white people.
do you understand that there's other factors outside of your credit score that determines whether or not you qualify for the loan?
I understand
I'll
that,
give you an example. I'll give it because I'm intimately familiar with the banking system because I studied it because I've worked in it for the past 10 years. Okay. So because I'm intimately familiar with it, I can break it down from you from a C student's perspective. It's not just credit score that qualifies you. It's credit history. It's also how much you earn. and it's also how much your debt to income ratio is, just on a basic level, right? So I'll give you an example. If a person has a 700 credit score, let's say they have a 740, and then let's say that they make $60,000 a year. And then let's say when you start to break down their credit to see exactly what's financed on it, right? Regardless of whether or not you even have a lower than 30 or a lower than 10% debt to income ratio, you still can't afford a specific type of loan. And it also matters what type of loan that you're trying to qualify for, right? Some people get qualified for pulling money out of their homes. That is a type of loan. It's called a HELOC, right? Some people refinance. Some people leverage something that they have as an asset that they can justify that they put up, for example, as collateral, right? You can also look at your retirement, right? They look at your entire profile as a human to qualify you as to whether or not you're going to be able to actually pay that thing back, right? And it's not just your credit score that determines whether or not you qualify for the loan. You can have a you
I,
can
I
have a you can have a 800 credit score and go and apply for a fucking Lamborghini, but that don't mean you qualify for it just because you got a 800 credit score if you make sixty
bingo.
thousand dollars a year.
I understand this. I'm a property owner myself. I understand that, but that was
So
the
what are we
focal
talking
point
about?
that
Why are we
Envy
not adding
focused
the
on.
but why are we not adding the context into it
They
in
didn't
order
they
to in
didn't get to
order
use
in
the whole
order to
concept, but
better
that
understand?
was
Huh?
that was what Envy decided to focus on. But of course, we know there's more context. But the point was, Larry Elder tried to deny what the stats and the data was saying that Envy pulled up. He said it was because black people, we don't have our own banks, we're not pulling capital from our own people. He tried to use some half-ass excuse to explain that, and they didn't even get into
I just
details like I
explained
wanted them
it
to
to
do.
you.
Okay,
I see
you
people
explained
come
it.
in every day.
Cool.
I see people
Okay,
all
but
the
you're
time,
not.
and I get the data, I get the statistics.
Yo,
Listen,
you're
I
not running
I
for
work for
president.
the bank. I
You're
work for
not
the
running
bank.
for
I've
president
worked for
though.
multiple banking. Listen, you can go and look at my LinkedIn. Not only is the
Bro,
bank that I'm working at
I'm
now, but the
I'm
banks
aware
that
of
I've
all
worked at
that.
before. I understand the
I'm
data
a
and the statistics.
I'm not denying you. I'm aware of that, but you're not him. You're not on the platform. Had they asked you that, you could have broke it down like that. That nigga couldn't broke down anything
No,
because he was too busy
he's
trying to say,
still
well,
no. He's still right. But I'm just adding the additional context to justify my argument because I didn't hear his answer. Based off of what you saying that he said, he's still right. And now I'm adding the
how's he right?
context. I just broke it down for you. Just because you have
Okay,
a
you broke
700
it
credit
down, but
score don't mean that you should
what?
qualify for a loan.
Hold on, time out. I said Envy chose to focus on one point. The
His
article
fault.
talked about everything. The article talked about everything you just said. Nobody's. No, I'm not
What's the
arguing what you said. What
article?
you said
I'll pull
is
it up right
correct.
now. What's the article?
You have to go back and look to see what Envy said. I don't know exactly what he said. He pulled it up on him on the spot, and Larry Elder deflected from that conversation. He tried to say a bunch of bullshit
You
that just
do know
wasn't.
that every bank has their own criteria for what it is that you have to qualify for in order to be
Yeah,
successful.
every bank has their own criteria. That's why they understand why he was mentioning the black bank because they're going to have less capital anyway. So actually, the denial rate will be higher for a black bank for a black person to go to, in my opinion, if they not on their
Mm,
p's and q's money wise.
So I don't understand what the issue is. Where no because the issue that you brought up was systematic racism, and I'm trying to understand how you trying to qualify the systematic racism argument
Bro, you
through.
still got you still got companies getting caught denying like the I think was it Charlamagne? I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. He brought the whole appraisal issue. You still got that. That data's already been launched out at 32 million appraisals. We get a lower rating than white folks for the same house. They've already went into that. You got the issue. Well, didn't Wells Fargo's get busted for treating black people a certain way? I mean,
I don't
correct
know
me if I'm
anything
wrong. This
about
shit happens all the
you.
time.
You gotta qualify this, bro. I have no idea what you're talking about. Wells Fargo. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Honestly,
There's a bunch of companies that are still discriminating per se on you based off your skin, not necessarily your criteria. That's what Envy was trying to point out to
like
him.
what? Give me an
And
example.
Jesus Christ.
Give me an example.
I just
Listen, when I speak, I justify my argument by actually giving you the insight and information. I add context. I say what I say, and then I add the context in order to justify my argument, right? So now I'm asking you to do the same thing. Give me an example, and then we can hopefully mine it out so I can get a better understanding of why I'm
I just
also
gave an
of
example
why I'm
with the
also
housing loan.
hold on, wait,
I just
about
said
how I'm also systematically oppressed too. Because I should be fitting in that same category too, right?
I don't understand what you're trying to say. I
I'm
don't.
trying to
First of all,
understand where the systematic oppression is happening at.
I'm not saying that we're systematically oppressed. I'm going off for their talking points. I don't. You gotta understand. I live in Charles County, Maryland. This is the richest black county in America. So I'm not. The average
Okay,
household
so
income is
we aren't
138,000.
systematically oppressed, or are
I
we?
don't believe so. No.
So
But
what's
that's
the
still. But
argument
that
then?
because the argument that Tezlyn was trying, or the Breakfast Club was trying to put in, there's still systems in play that may hinder per se.
But you don't
And he was
agree
like,
with
no,
them.
there. I don't agree with who
Tezlyn and the Breakfast Club.
about the system comment. They
Yes.
all. Bro, they all agreed on the same thing. That's the point they was
No,
trying
no,
to
no, no, no.
make to
You
him.
don't agree with it.
I
You
mean, I'm
just
not oppressed.
admitted that they're
No,
wrong because you said you don't believe in systematic oppression based off of your own life experiences.
I'm not oppressed, and I don't believe in white supremacy either.
So since you
But
don't
that's
believe in systematic
we not.
oppression
But
as
we're
it
not
exists, hold
talking
on, wait,
about me though.
wait, 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 wait. Since you don't believe in systematic oppression as it's being stated today for black people, not in the past, not during slavery, right now, you don't believe in it, but you still believe that they should press him about something that you don't even believe in, right?
If it's on certain topics, sure, you can do that. Two things can be true at the same time. We don't have to be oppressed for you to realize that hey, there's a system that's flawed.
No, you just
You know,
said that there's no systematic oppression as it relates to how you see life. Why do you think somebody else oppressed somebody if you don't even believe that it exists?
because I see where they're coming from, far as the context is concerned. I think the example that they used were, I think Charlamagne said something about how you got different jail sentences for crack compared to powder cocaine, but that was already alleviated with certain laws, so it was no need for him to really use that. But that's what he chose to use. That was the
No, no,
thing.
no,
It's
no.
not
We
like he just
talking
made it
about
up.
you. You think that
Why
with
are you talking about
the
me?
first thing that you said, no, the first thing that you said when you came up. See, I got the memory of an elephant. I'm a C student, but I got a memory of an elephant. The first thing that you
I
said when
gotta.
you came, first thing you said when you came up was that it's okay
I'll
to
give you that,
press,
man. You sharp as hell. I'll
was
give you
that
that,
it's
bro.
okay to press people. You said it was okay to press people. And then I said, no, that's just being combative. And now we come in full circle because you believe that they should press people even if you don't believe what they saying is true. And then
But
you
you
said,
gotta think.
and then
I'm
you
just
wait,
hold
wait,
on,
wait,
hold
and
on,
then
hold on, hold on. No,
you added
address
a little
that first. Hold on,
sprinkle.
address that first.
You added a
Address
little
that first.
sprinkle on top of it, and you said that Larry
I'm not
Elder
the.
was
I'm not the. I'm
wait.
not the only one voting though.
You
You can't
said
just
that
go off of
Larry
what I
Elder.
believe.
No, it's not about what other people vote. It's about you as an individual. You got to
Yeah,
vote.
okay. Okay.
So
I'm gonna
no, no,
play
no,
off
no,
what you
no.
just said.
You're
Okay.
not
Let's
just
say. Hold
hold
on.
on, wait. I don't justify the argument at the people at large. I justify my perspective. You're not
Okay, but we're
justifying the
only one.
argument
We're
of
only
everybody.
one person
Hold on,
though.
wait. You're not justifying the argument of everybody because everybody don't believe like you. Some people believe like you. Some people don't. You have to justify how you believe because you the only person that's going to be in that voter booth. So considering that, where did Larry Elder lie? Because you haven't justified that. And why do you believe that they should be combative with him when you don't even believe in what they saying is true? You just admitted it out of your own mouth.
But I just told you that I don't see them. I don't see pressing somebody who's trying to run for president as being combative. One and two. I have a different mentality than most people. So let's just. Even if I play devil's advocate, let's say I say, oh, systematic oppression is real. My mindset is, fuck having the table. I'm going to eat regardless because I'm a wolf. I don't care how you see it. That's just what it is. It's
So
always
you
been
don't
like
think
that.
that you're gonna be oppressed and slowed down?
Even with
Wolves,
obstacles in the way, I'm
wolves
still.
can only wolves can only exist in a space where it's not deforestation. They can only exist in a space where humans is not over there tearing
Okay.
up the fucking environment. So if you wait, wait,
You.
wait, no, 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 no. A wolf is only limited to the amount of space that humans allow for them to exist in. So are you telling me that it does not matter and that you are not systematically oppressed and nobody is putting you in a position to not eat, right?
There's something also called natural selection and adaptation. I'm going to adapt regardless to what I need to
No, you're
do, but
not.
I'm
You're
gonna
gonna be
get mine
extinct.
regardless.
You're gonna be. It's
You
plenty
say,
of animals. It's plenty of animals that go extinct every single year. Every year, it's plenty of
okay,
animals that go extinct.
I'll play devil. Hold on, I'll play devil advocate with that too. Okay, let's
Okay,
say I go extinct. I don't fear death, so it don't bother me. If I lose the game of life, I just lose. It don't
that's not
bother
the
me.
argument. We talking about being systematically oppressed, and then you try to relate it back to being a wolf. And I'm telling you that argument don't even fucking fly. That's a bad example.
That argument flies with me. What you mean?
No, it doesn't. See, now you're doing that my truth thing. It ain't about your
I
truth.
I
It
didn't say
ain't
nothing
about
about
my
my truth. None of that.
truth. It
I
ain't
didn't say none of
about
that.
what you believe. It's the truth. The only thing that matters is it's one truth. And I need you to justify this whole systematic oppression thing, bro.
I say it varies of what you want to talk about, as far as like systems or what. Like what they chose to focus on. I think she said healthcare, jails, healthcare, jails, and then she tried to she got him on when he cried about the whole Donald Trump and the systems coming after him. And she was like, "Wait, so is it a systematic issue or not?" And he couldn't answer that. But when he just literally just said it's a two-tier system injustice, and Donald Trump's being hunted by the DOJ. She was like, "So there is a systematic issue," and he couldn't answer the question.
Hmm.
After he just got done saying it was a systematic issue when he was crying about Trump,
Do you think it's a
which I'm not
systematic
saying he.
issue? I haven't seen it yet, so all I have is your word to go off of. But if I got to go off of what it is that you're telling me right now, I don't believe that he did that. I don't believe that he did that.
You could go watch the video.
I
I'm a
am.
cat for it.
I
This
am.
is the internet. You could go easily go pull it up.
I am. But
I mean,
do you believe? Let's end it on this. Do you believe that systematic oppression is going to stop you from being whatever it is that you're going to be? Do you believe that systematic oppression is even a real thing for Black people in 2023?
to answer your first question, I already answered that. No, it's not going to stop me.
Mm-hmm.
To answer the second question, yeah, that is a thing. It depends on
But
what
you just
sector you're
said that
talking
it
about.
wasn't a thing. And that's I asked you. I asked you a trick question just to see if you was going to switch up your answer. And you said that it
I ain't
wasn't.
switch up my
Oh, yes, you
answer.
did. Yes, you did. I asked. I
I do
asked
what
you a
you're trying
trick
to do. I ain't
question.
switch up my answer.
I asked you a trick question
Because I literally,
just to see if.
but no, I literally said it depends on what you're talking about. And once again, you keep trying to focus it on me. Take me out the equation. I'm a fucking
No.
anomaly, bro. You can't put me in the equation.
No, no. I can't believe you fell for the bait. I asked you a question to see if you was gonna
Bro,
switch
I
up your
see what you're
answer, and you
doing.
switched it up.
It ain't nothing new to me, bro. I see what you're doing.
What do you mean? You just answered it differently than you answered it 10 minutes ago.
I didn't answer it differently. I know. You maybe you're not understanding me. I don't speak in Mandarin or something.
Okay,
When
bring
you
me in.
ask
Bring
me,
me in. Bring me in. Help me to understand it.
ask me, was there a systematic oppression? I literally say it depends on what context or what category you're talking about. You keep trying to wrap it back
Okay.
to what I believe. Take me out the equation.
Why am
I'm
I
a
taking you out of the equation
person.
and you the person that's giving the opinion?
This has nothing to do with me.
It has
We're
everything to
related
do
to
with you. Because you're the one that's
the breakfast
arguing
club interview,
against
not me.
the thing that I think is true.
Hold on, say that one more time. I didn't hear you.
It
You
has
breaking up.
everything to do with you because you're the person that's arguing the point. You got to substantiate your argument.
There's a lot of shit I can't say right now, but I don't feel like the focus on me, bro. I don't think you should do that. 'Cause, like I told you, I don't believe in the oppression. I don't believe in the whole white supremacy shit. It's more like white inferiority, but I'm not gonna get into that. But I mean, so you gotta take me out the equation.
No, I'm not.
You
I'm not
can't put
taking
me
you out of
in.
the equation. I'm not taking you out of the equation. No.
Okay, that's fine. It's cool.
Why do you call yourself the devil or the prince? What did you say it meant? Your name?
Hallel is the Greek name for Lucifer,
Why do you call yourself Lucifer?
because that's the entity that I've always related to the most. I always
Why?
felt like I always felt if we're going off the story of Yahweh of the Most High, I feel like it's like history. History's written in the eyes of the victor. I feel like you know maybe the Most High won, and he's fabricating some things. A lot of shit in the Bible just don't make sense to me. Before you come at me with the whole,
I didn't
"Are you
say
a Christian?" Yeah,
nothing. I'm just listening. Why are you feeling? Why are you feeling? Wait. Why are you being offended? And I didn't even. I am
I'm
being a
not
good.
offended. But
Wait.
I'm just
I'm being a good listener. I asked you a question. I see that you're not getting arrested, are you?
no. I'm good.
Okay. I'm
My
being a
record
good
clean for work,
listener.
bro.
And you all I'm just listening and you already feeling offended. What is going on?
Because no, I'm not offended. I saw the conversation with you and what was that dude
So
the
you
that
gonna
you had on the
judge
panel
me
today.
in our conversation based off you answering the question, you had the floor and you just automatically start getting mad at me.
No, I'm not mad. I'm just letting you know for the disclaimer because a lot of people they'll because I told you what I was before and you questioned it, and then when I say that and then I start speaking on Christianity, people are like, well, how can you speak? Well,
I just
I
asked you
grew
a
up.
question. All right, go ahead. So you don't believe
Okay,
that it's real. Go ahead. I'm listening. And
I
leave
don't
me out
believe
of it.
that.
I'm just standing you.
I don't believe. I believe they say the biggest trick the devil plays on people is
Who is
having him
they?
believe that he's society.
Okay, so
Say
you're
the
going off of
biggest trick the
society. I
devil
got you.
has played. The biggest trick the devil has played is to get y'all to believe that he's not real. And I don't see it that way. I said the biggest trick the devil got y'all thinking is that he's God, and now
Who
y'all
is
worship him
y'all
on
and who
Saturdays
is?
and
Why do you
Sundays.
keep referring to they and y'all? I'm saying I'm asking you how you feel, not how society feels, not anybody else. What are your thoughts?
I connect to this quote unquote dark side more than I do that heavenly God shit. It is what it
Why?
is. What you mean? Why? That's just what I connect to. I mean,
What do you mean?
that's
Why? I know why I know why I follow God. You should know why you follow the devil, right? No?
well. Well, first of all, I don't follow the devil. That's the thing.
Okay, well you more identify with him, okay? And I just
That's
ask
that's
why.
not that's not the case either. That's a long conversation. But if you want to get into it, we can real quick.
We can talk about it. I'm curious.
So first of all, a lot of people get what I am confused. I am a Luciferian. I am not a Satanist. Satanists believe the devil as an entity or a deity, and they worship him. Luciferians don't do that. I believe in the psychology of the left-handed path. So, so if you want to classify me as anything, I'm technically an atheist. I don't
Hmm.
believe in that shit.
So why did
But
you say you identify more with Lucifer then?
growing up in the church and all that, and dealing with that, I subscribe more to the dark things. The shit that we was learning in church didn't add up. Then when I actually got to read the Bible for myself, I was like, oh no, this is not the entity I want to align myself with.
So why
If it
don't you
is
just call
true,
yourself? Why don't you call yourself Mister Nothing then instead of calling
Mister
yourself
Nothing.
Mister Yeah, because you said you're an atheist. That means you don't even believe in anything, right?
By definition, sure.
So
But
how do you
why would it be
identify?
nothing?
Okay, so the devil is a comic book character that you more identify with. Then
I just said it's a philosophy, and I'm not about to go all into that because we're not supposed to.
who is we
But
not
I'm not a
supposed to?
Satanist, so don't confuse me with a Satanist. That's not.
I
I'm
didn't say
not.
you was anything. All I'm doing
I
is
know.
asking you for clarity and context.
And
You
I
said that
also,
technically you don't believe in anything, but then you more closely identify with this mythical thing that you don't believe in.
I don't see the issue with that.
I don't either. I'm just asking you what the mindset is behind it.
I just don't rock with your God. I'm just. It is what it is.
I ain't talking about me. I'm asking you why you think the way you think.
So now we ain't talking about you.
What do I got to do with it?
You're a Christian. You've stated that before, right?
Correct, but I'm asking you about why you
Okay,
saying that you
hold on.
don't believe in
Okay, hold on.
anything, but then you more closely identify with something that you don't believe in. Is what I'm asking.
I can't identify with your deity or beliefs. What's the issue with that? And let's
Oh,
say
we not
you're
talking,
right.
but
Let's say
we
you're.
what do we got? What do I have to
Hold
do
on.
with the fact that with what you believe? Listen, you gonna believe whatever you gonna believe when whether I'm here or not, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm asking you is why do you not believe in anything, but you more closely identify with something that you don't believe in? Is what I'm asking, and I don't have nothing to do with it.
I didn't say you did. I'm just when I say you, I'm not necessarily saying you per se. I'm just using you as a standoff for Christianity or whatever you want to say, the
Okay,
major religions per se.
okay.
If I had it my way and I can click my fingers like Thanos, there would be no such thing as religion, period, or any aspect of it.
What does that got to do
I
with
feel
what
like
you
it.
believe?
Shit,
What
what
is
they
that?
got to do with
Okay,
I
listen,
believe?
you're dodging the question. This is what this
No,
is
I'm
what I'm
not.
trying
No,
to do.
okay. I think I got what you're saying. I'm not dodging the question. It's hard for me to articulate it because you know nothing about what I believe. So if I walk up
It's
to
not
another
hard
person
to
and say Lucifer,
articulate. I understand exactly what you're saying. That's why I'm asking follow up questions.
so our philosophy is simple. We want to push humanity forward. It has nothing
Who is our?
to those who have the same belief as me.
But it sounds like you were one of one because I don't know anybody that don't believe in nothing, but then more closely identify with something they don't believe in.
Of course, because you're not in this world. That's why I'm having a hard time
I am in this
articulating to you.
world.
That's
I'm
the
look at all this shit. I'm right here.
hell
I'm
no,
right
nigga.
here. I don't listen.
I'm not talking about you
I've
in like a
I've known
physical form, bro. I'm talking about
atheists. I've
there's
known
society.
a lot of
There's
different people that
society.
believe in something, but most of the time, When somebody don't believe in nothing, they can't say that they then identify with something that they don't believe in. That's all I'm saying.
Like I said before, you don't know about the world I live in, so it's hard for me to articulate to you. I'm not the only one. Trust and believe that your media is enriched with our symbolism. Your hell, your biggest the biggest religion on this planet is encroached in our belief. I
What does that
just
got to do
not
with
finna go there.
logic? But what about what you saying?
What you mean? So
I
I
I
can't.
mean what I
So I
mean. I
can't.
mean what I just said.
But I gave you the breakdown. I said I believe on the philosophy side of it. I didn't say I have
You
to believe.
named
I
yourself
can take.
something that you don't believe in.
I literally just said I believe the philosophy side of it. I don't have to believe in the deity itself. You can
Okay,
the two
what's the
things can be true at
philosophy
the same
side that
time.
you believe in?
Okay, so our thing is we're trying to push humanity forward. I'm not gonna get into it detail. Well, that's just the basic synopsis of it.
So you're not gonna give me no understanding? You gonna leave me out here hanging?
It's hard for me to give you understanding because I don't have to go into a whole soliloquy or diatribe about what I believe in, and I have to branch it off
Give me the
into
cliff
this,
notes.
and
Give me
that.
the elevator pitch.
You say what?
Give me the cliff notes. Give me the elevator pitch.
I just gave the clip. Note. Our goal is to advance humanity
Who was
without the
out?
interference
Okay,
of
do
a
you have
belief.
a group of people that you meet with on a regular basis?
You said, do I have people that I meet with?
Yeah, some people that you know that you meet with that y'all trying to advance humanity.
I feel like if I ask this question, it's gonna be a trap ass question.
Why is it got to be a trap? It's just a question.
Yes, I meet with other people at the temple. Yes.
At what temple?
See, I knew he was good. I knew he was gonna go there, nigga. Uh, I knew you was gonna focus on that word, nigga. I knew it. Hey, you sure you're not a lawyer too, bro? You sure you ain't passed the bar, bro?
No, bro. Listen, bro. You know, listen. I appreciate you. I rock with you, bro. I'm just having some fun on a Friday, man. It's
Anton coming
good.
back on the cross examination, like, wait a minute, you just said. But when I was telling you earlier about my mindset, so I got friends who ask me this all the time that grew up with me because I grew up Baptist, and I tell them, I said, look, if I'm wrong about what I believe, and then come to the time of judgment, I will gladly sit in hell with drawers on and gasoline. I have no
I
problem with
think
that.
you think that. I don't think you. I don't. See, listen. Everybody think that they know until they got to actually deal with whatever it is that's in front of them. Everybody
But
tough. Is prisoners that's
my
tough
mom,
until they get into jail. Is people that is women that want to be single until they husband divorce them. And it's motherfuckers that's gonna be burning in hell that think that they tough until they get there.
but it's easy for me. My
I
mom
believe that
always raised my.
everybody think that they tough until they actually got to face that shit.
It has nothing to do about tough. My parents raised me to be firm in what I believe in. So if I believe in it and it's wrong, I just accept the consequence. I'm not gonna make no excuse for it.
I
It
believe
is
that
what it is.
they gonna have to answer for the things that they did too. I don't give a fuck if who
Because
taught you that.
like
Everybody on this earth is going to have to answer for whatever the fuck that they did on this earth. I
okay,
believe that.
that's fine. And let's say I believe that too. I'm not out here being a wicked person, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm not out here stealing from nobody, I ain't killing nobody. I'm a deviant in certain aspects, but I'm not gonna get into that. But outside of that, it's not a really big thing.
You think we just gonna
I don't
skip
have to
over
get
that
into
last
that.
wait, we gonna skip over that last part?
What you say?
We gonna skip over that last part?
It's no need to get into I don't pillow talk, so it's no need to get into that.
You
But outside of
you
that,
fucking brought it up. How you gonna bring something up and then ask me not to ask for the context? I didn't tell you to bring it up. You brought it up, and then now you want me to skip over it like I didn't hear that shit.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a glitch in the matrix, like Tate said. Maybe you heard something that wasn't heard. I don't know.
No, I
The
heard you,
matrix is
motherfucker.
glitching.
I heard you, nigga. But listen, bro, you know I rock with you.
um,
I appreciate you for being a good sport, man. We just having some fun on a Friday.
Before I go, the best way I can articulate the conversation that we were on originally. If you go watch the Amazing Lucas video about this Larry Aaron
Who?
interview, that's the best way that I can.
Who?
The Amazing Lucas,
Who? Who the fuck is that?
the he's another YouTuber with
Oh,
that's in the that
He's a
was
YouTuber. I'm like, I thought you was talking about. You ever seen it? Like I think what was it called? The something Mr. Fox, the Amazing Mr. Fox, or something like that.
nah.
You ain't never seen that movie? It was called the. It was one of my favorite cartoons. It was a movie though.
I mean, I don't know if he's in your network because we all be on Angry Man channel and How To channel, so I'm familiar
Mhm.
with everybody out there, Israel and all them. So we're
Yeah, I know Angry Man in
technically all in the
Israel. I
same.
know them too.
Yeah, so
I ain't
that's
never heard of no. I ain't never heard of a guy named. What was his name again?
the amazing Lucas.
Yeah, I've never heard of him. But I mean,
Okay.
he probably a decent YouTuber. Who knows? I don't know him though. So
Yeah, I'm just saying that's the best way that I can articulate this because he did a
he
better job
believed
than I
like
could.
you.
Oh hell no, he nobody believes like me, bro. I told you I'm an anomaly. You can't stick me out there like that, bro.
Oh, okay. I got you. The people in the chat is saying that he brain dead. Yeah, it's called The Fantastic Mr. Fox. That's the name of the movie. Fantastic Mr. Fox. That movie is good.
Who's brain dead? The only you talking about Lucas?
I said the people in the chat is saying that he's brain dead. They said that he batshit crazy and he brain dead.
I don't understand that. I don't understand get the brain dead. They're
I
probably
don't
just
know.
mad
I'm
because
just going by what it is that I'm reading in the chat.
they probably just mad because he's not in the conservative echo chamber no more, and that pisses a lot of people off.
I
Because
don't know
he was
anything
a
about
heavy
him.
conservative,
I
bro.
can't have an opinion because I've never heard of him.
Okay.
Hey man, don't be getting your car picked up by the cement truck or nothing, no shit like that. What the fuck is going on here?
My stuff paid off for, bro.
The cement truck ain't got nothing to do with the repo man. I ain't say the repo man.
Oh, okay. I say I ain't got to worry about the repo, man. My stuff paid
All right,
off.
big dog. I'm gonna holler at you, bro. Thanks, man. Thanks for pulling up,
All
bro.
right.